Hello everyone, my name is Manuel Meraz and I'm a rising junior at Colorado College. This last summer I had the pleasure of working with the Colorado League of Charter Schools, which is one of the organizations of the PIFP organization. For those of you that do not know, the Colorado League of Charter Schools is a nonprofit membership organization dedicated to supporting the charter schools in the state. The league is committed to helping these schools reach higher levels of student performance and overall success by providing information resources, including technical support, advocacy, public relations assistance, and much more. Over the summer, I was fortunate enough to be involved in many important projects with the league. So first off, when I got there, my first project was a project they titled A Charter School Leader's Guide to the Colorado legislative session. So when I got there, they had just finished the 2017 legislative session. And basically my goal was to create a guide that is provided as a resource to Colorado charter schools, and it is intended to help charter school leaders learn about the education-related bills passed in 2017. And this allows them to understand how these changes directly impact Colorado charter school operations. One of the interesting things about this year is that the 2017 Colorado legislative session resulted in some significant policy changes for Colorado's public schools. We saw important changes in areas like school finance, charter school funding and testing, and finally, the league actually engaged heavily on behalf of charter schools to pass House Bill 1375, which for the first time creates a legislative lever by which districts are required to equitably share their locally raised mill levy override revenue with their charter schools. So because of this huge significant change, it was kind of fun to create this guide for all the prominent school leaders throughout the state. And it kind of segued into my next project, in which I engaged heavily on data recovery for the Colorado Department of Education's brand new financial transparency website. So I worked directly with the director of research in helping him decode information listed on the public website. So essentially the goal of this project was to try to get in front of some of the information that would be used against charter schools because of the new House Bill 1375. We essentially just wanted to have concrete data to refute the misconception that charter schools receive more funding, so we used the public information in our favor and presented it in such a way. My next big project was what they titled the District Profile Project. So the goal of this project was to create a synopsis of various prominent districts throughout the state. So I started off by doing preliminary research on the districts through news articles and so forth. And then I progressed my research by actually talking to people involved with charters in these districts. So in total throughout the summer, I interviewed around 30 people within the charter networks, and we're talking about big districts in Denver, such as Denver Public Schools, Aurora Public Schools, Douglas County, Jefferson County, and so forth. As a whole, the goal of this project was to figure out which districts in the state were more favorable for a grassroots charter school that we're hoping to open up in the state. And then furthermore, I was able to figure out which ones were not so suitable for those charter schools. And my final kind of capstone project was a research of the political structures. So I essentially created a presentation for the president of the league in cooperation with the director of governmental affairs at the league. And this project was focused on researching how the league would go about creating a tandem 501c4 organization with the already existing 501c3 organization. So basically what that means is the league is currently a 501c3, which kind of limits the amount of lobbying they can do. And if we were to create a tandem CO4, we would be allowed to engage in unlimited lobbying. Therefore, I basically just did a lot of preliminary research to figure out the political structures we needed to get all that running. And then one of the cool things that I was able to do was I was able to talk to other prominent charter figures throughout the country who have already put this work into stride. So I was able to specifically talk to one of the directors of the California Charter Schools Advocates, and I was able to talk to the president of the Arizona Charter Schools Association, two organizations that have already set up tandem organizations, and they essentially gave me the advice to kind of set all this in motion. So those were kind of my big projects throughout the summer. All in all, I mean, it was a pleasure to work with the organization. It's great to see that an organization like this does a lot of good work in Colorado. Being a Colorado native myself and having gone through the public education system in Colorado, it was good to see that there's a lot of great behind-the-scenes work that goes into making sure kids have the best educational opportunities possible. And I was fortunate enough to work with great people and had great mentors along the entire process. I had a great summer, and all in all I can say is that I hope other students take advantage of these opportunities presented by PIFP in the future because it gives us an opportunity to grow in many ways. So, thank you.